Think about all you can get done in an hour. For me, working out comes to mind, maybe watching my favorite TV show, Delmarva Life, by the way.
Of course. Okay. I'm thinking kayak. Maybe check a couple things off the honey-do list.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's really expand on what can happen in an hour. It only takes an hour to change a young person's life, not even every day, just once a week. And here to explain is Mark Thompson, who is the pupil personnel worker with the Department of Student and Family Services at Wicomico County Public Schools. Mark, thank you for coming in this afternoon.
Well, thanks for having me on.
All right, so Wicomico Mentoring Project is what you're here to talk about. It began in 1994. Tell us about it.
Well, in 1994, what we've been doing every year, working with students in the Wicomico County Public Schools. It's a unique mentoring program where we're just dedicated to just students in the schools. I just want to put a footnote. If you want to work with students and young people outside of our schools, we really recommend Big Brothers and Big Sisters. But here's what I'm here to ask, is that we need people to come into our schools, to sit down with 45 minutes to an hour with a child and just listen. We find that a lot of people just don't have, a lot of our children don't have people they can actually talk to.
Right.
So what we encourage you to do is just come into our schools, sit down with the child, and just listen to them and tell your story. Just tell your story. And when you tell your story, it might engage them to do something other than what they're doing right now.
And you see a big need for this.
Oh, a huge need.
Yeah.
You know, when they say, how many mentors do we need? Well, it's not just for children who are troubled. We really need 14,500. Every child should have a mentor. You two probably have someone you go to for encouragement, feedback on how life is going. So we need someone for everyone. But we need you to come in and just sit down with the students. Grandparents, this is what's so special. Sitting in a classroom of kindergartners and just playing a board game with them. It means their hearts just glow. Yeah. Not only the mentor, but the mentee, the child, because here's someone other than their parent who cares about them, and that's what it's about.
And I mean, when you think of mentoring, you think, you know, it's a really hard job, but it's just being there, right?
Just being there, just listening. You know, one thing I always tell our mentors, just sit there, listen. You're not there to be their parent, their parents, their guardian, their financial broker. You're there to be an encourager, a motivator, and just a listener. And if you can do that, and we're not asking for perfect people. We want people who just have a heart, a passion also. Because I'm very passionate about this. But I want to see people just come in and sit there and listen, play a game, and try and encourage our students to be successful, to reach for the stars. Right. And that's what mentoring is all about.
So we don't have to be a financial planner. You're saying let's just spend time with them. Does that really make that big of an impact on them?
It does make a big difference. You know, I'm a very big supporter of the 40 developmental assets. And what they say is every child, the more assets they have, the more successful they're going to be in life. So part of the assets is someone that's other than their family that cares about them, someone from the community that can motivate them, someone that can show them a different pathway. And that's what we're looking for. When I talk to young people, I tell my story, even how I was fired from a job, how I worked for FedEx, how I worked for Salvation Army, and now I'm in the school system. And they say, really? How I wasn't the smartest kid in the school, but yet I had someone who was saying, you could do it, Mark. Right. You can do it. And that's what all we ask. Just be there to say, hey, you guys can do this.
Now you have, you're always looking for more mentors, and you have 4 options from which someone can choose.
Oh yeah, we changed it all over a few years ago. I call it a la carte mentoring. Here's what you can do. Okay. You'll love this one. You say, well, I don't have time to come in during the day, but on your way to work, instead of stopping for that coffee, stop at the school, have breakfast. Just come in the cafeteria and eat breakfast with a group of students. They would love to see you and see how you're drinking milk and eating the food. Come at lunch. Give up that lunch just for 45 minutes once a week. That's all we're asking. And sit there at the cafeteria, at the lunchroom table, and share your day. Let them see what you do. You can still do the traditional one-on-one mentoring when you come into a classroom, or you take them in the library. If a business leader, you can come in and we get a group of students together and you can talk about what you really need to be successful, what classes you need. Right. So again, whatever you need. If you want to be a grandparent, just, you can be in the school all day and just color and sit there and play. I'm telling you, it will help the person who does that. And I always just say this, when you go into the mall and the grocery store and you see someone who you mentored and they say, aren't you the one that talked to me a few years ago? Oh, I mean,
They remember.
It's priceless. So again, I'm not here to ask for money. I'm here to ask for your time.
And while you just said you could sit there all day long and do, you're really only asking for an hour a week?
You keep saying an hour. I just say 45 minutes. You know, you come in, you sit in a class period. You pull them into, you don't want to take too much time from their day, academic day, but you do want to be there to ask them, hey, how's everything going, Jimmy? Hey, what happened last week and how was your game? Hey, let me see what you did yesterday in your homework. That's all it's about. It's very simple.
Incredible.
But we need you. If I could plead, we need you. We need you to come into our school just to show that this community cares about our youth and our community.
All right, Mark, sounds like a great program. 1 hour a week.
1 hour a week. Contact me at the Board of Ed. We'll set you up with a very a training. We do bloodborne pathogen and child abuse, so you can recognize child abuse signs. And then just some keys on, here's what you do. You don't have to bring anything. We'll supply everything you need.
Well, thank you for
so
what
much.
you're doing.
Oh, thank you so
Appreciate
much.
that, Mark.